Hey Kokab, every year in New Zealand there's a race unity speech competition where teenagers from the ages of 16 to 18, well from year 11 to year 13 are allowed to enter from all over New Zealand are allowed to enter speeches about race unity, and they're given a topic each year, and they're given quotes, one from the Baha'i faith and one from Maori culture to input into their speeches. And last night was the Race Unity Speech Awards, and me, Vahid, and Mommy went. It was really inspiring to hear the teens, just like us, speaking about race unity, and I took some footage that I will show you.
Imagine. Last night, I was reading the comments on a Facebook photo of a Māori member of the New Zealand Armed Forces who welcomed the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge into the country. To be honest, I was completely taken aback by the blatant ignorance that was displayed by these adults. And it made me realize that not only does racism stem from the lack of education, it stems from the children who are exposed to these adults, whether they be parents or relatives who are intolerant of those from a different culture. So just imagine the impact of putting multicultural studies in our school curriculum. Not only will it enrich the lives of countless students, but every day will be a day of celebrating diversity. In the bonds of love we meet, hear our voices we entreat. Men of every creed and race gather here before thy face.
OMG. OMG. Did you see Lord last night? I can't even deal. Would you like some butter chicken, my friend? I, Johnny, totally take you, Jimmy, to be my lawfully wedded husband. Yeah, mate, I was born and bred Australian, but I'm a New Zealander now, you dingo. Back in my day, there was none of this modern technology. We fought for God, King, and country. What you just witnessed was a brief expose of a few of the many stereotypes of our nation. What you might not have noticed is that amongst their differences, there is one thing they all have in common. They are you, me, your neighbour. They reside proudly in New Zealand, thus sharing the same devotion to our nation, Aotearoa. They are New Zealanders. Ladies and gentlemen, there are many ways of being a New Zealander. The type that smooth sails through the laid-back Kiwi lifestyle, simply because she'll be right. The type that is so proud of our nation, they think they might burst. How about the guy that tries to build his own deck during summer? Because DIY, it's in our DNA. Or the type that answers a question with an oxymoron. Yeah, nah. No matter what category we fall into, we New Zealanders still need to learn to appreciate our dissimilarities, our racial, ethnic, gender, cultural, and religious differences. If New Zealand aims to grow together as one country, we need to blend all aspects of our lives together. If you desire, with all your heart, friendship with every race on earth, your thought, it will spread, it will become the desire of others, growing stronger and stronger until it reaches the minds of all. I truly believe that if Dr. Seuss's morals were introduced to New Zealand, we would accomplish that powerful message of the Baha'i writings. My mother was born and raised in Africa, and Nelson Mandela therefore had great influence over her childhood. In my family, we constantly remind each other, it always seems impossible until it's done.
Canoe, a canoe which we are all in with no exception. We flow on a river that twists and turns, picking up speed to overcome sharp rocks and jagged boulders. Hidden bodies of other canoes lie still, not moving until the undertow of the river dislodges those wreckages and lets them rise to the surface. Flowing together, the old and the new, the barks of two different trees, bound together to create a boat that we float in. We can be a country defined by racial unity and equality. We can be a country who courses with its people, side by side, canoe and passenger as one. New Zealand, it's clean and green, with rains that pour down valleys and rivers that cut our landscapes. Now, wherever a New Zealander goes, they know that a pair of gumboots and cold beer is never far away. We are all New Zealanders, no matter our race, class, or the fact you own a pair of gummies. A New Zealander is a person who is proud to call the green rolling hills and thundering mountains of Aotearoa, New Zealand, their home. Accept the cultural diversity that is around us. It is not just a matter of giving those rights to the subgroups within New Zealand. Every single culture that stands in Aotearoa not only has to accept those rights, but to act upon them. Yes, there are rights, but there are also responsibilities. They lie not only with the national and local governments, but with the media to portray equality to our public, with employers, unions, communities, my own little community of Oamaru down south, and with every individual in this nation, in this room, has the right and the sole duty to pull on your gumboots, throw on your jacket, and stand in the river to unite as one. Waiho iti toipoto, kawa iti toroa. Let us keep close together, not far apart.
Je m'appelle Jonathan Dawson. J'habite Nouvelle-Zélande. Ko paunu te maua ko atari te awa. Ko na puiti Aotearoa te whenua. Malau nu'u o Alisa o te nofo i New Zealand. My name is Jonathan Dawson, and New Zealand is my home. My ancestors came from around the world to this country in hope of a better life. I am a child of Europe, a tama of Hawaii, and a sile from Samoa. But now, I am Aotearoa, New Zealand. This is my country. This is my land. We were all once visitors to this land, but we have made it our own. We are all Aotearoa, New Zealand. Be yourself. Too many people come to this country and hide their culture to fit in here. Let your heritage not be something to hide, but something to share. And those who are here already accept these cultures, even if it is new to our coast. Because he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. It is the people who matter the most. And the cultures of our people is our people's culture. Proudly, New Zealand should boast. An ancient Māori myth tells the story of the North Island and how it came to be. It all began with the mysterious Māori hero Maui out at sea. With only his father's jawbone as a hook and the blood from his nose as bait, Maui cast out his line. No idea of the prize and weight. Maui's line grew taut, and he hauled his catch in out of the sea was there called Maui. The North Island. in Maui's hands. He held the rope of Mauri, which helped him pull his catch to the surface. The rope was thin but strong. Fibers, tight with purpose. When the English came, they brought their threads. Weaved into Maui's rope, made it stronger. The Polynesians came with their threads. Weaved into Maui's rope, made it longer. The Asians came with their threads, weaved into Maui's rope, made it thicker. So Maui pulled, and Maui pulled. Stronger and quicker. Life here isn't all hunky-dory. Because my Māori friend can't get a job because he's too much of a whore. My Samoan friend can't go into a bar because apparently when he drinks he has a violent aversion. And in court he faces the full force of the law, while another gets off on a diversion. 25% of Māori and Polynesian children experience poverty, some with no shoes or warm clothes. But I'm going to ask you to forget that figure. Because every year it grows. But this is New Zealand. This is a land of hope and a land of opportunity. Despite the divide, this is a land of potential race unity.
Up the stairs. Driver. You catch the brief flash, the cringe of hatred and disgust. It's something that you've grown accustomed to. Composing himself. He tells you that you're not welcome with that thing on your face. Now apparently this is his fear of masks playing up. You shamefully exit with the eyes of every passenger riveted on you. You're trying to stay strong, but the pangs of embarrassment and rejection are overwhelming. For you, this has become a ritual almost, being rejected by society. You try fighting back the tears, but this time, you cannot. A 2001 census claimed that 10% of the New Zealand population is comprised of ethnicities other than Māori and Pacifica. In theory, shouldn't this mean that New Zealanders are exposed to an array of races? That New Zealand is one of the most racially tolerant nations in the world? If so, then why are cruel racial incidents like the one I just mentioned continuing to occur? Now, I've been in New Zealand since 2001, and I remember for so long I was scared to tell people I was Palestinian. And not because I was ashamed, because for so long I was scared of being thrown into the trap of demoralizing Arab stereotypes. Scared of being tossed into the basket of the rejected, the unwanted. And the truth is, I shouldn't have to be scared. Racial discrimination is embedded in New Zealand society. We see it, sometimes even try to ignore it. In our children's playgrounds, where racial differences have become a point of bullying, or in our very streets, where something as simple as a disdaining glance.
Racism is a colossal and somewhat bizarre issue. Because of that, people usually approach the topic in very big ways. Big words, big speeches, and big promises. And as human nature, those big words and speeches make the audience feel empowered and elated.
As you can see, these teenagers are very passionate about what they're speaking about. It was really inspirational to see them speaking and giving their point so strongly. And I know I couldn't be that confident on stage in front of so many people, but it was really awesome to see them. There's a panel of judges that chose the best speech, and that person was awarded, I think, 1,000 New Zealand dollars, as well as their school was given, I think, $2,000 to help with, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, the school was given money as well. It's a New Zealand-wide competition, and people were flown out from the South Island and all over New Zealand to come to Auckland to say their speeches. So it was narrowed down from, I think, all the entries to like top 24 to top 16 to top 8, which was the finals, and then the judges chose the best. It's a yearly competition. It's been going on since 2001, and it's really been growing, and it's been publicized more in the media now. It's been put on by the Vahids of New Zealand as well as the New Zealand Police Force and I think the Human Rights Organization of New Zealand. So it's really well funded and it was really an amazing experience. I really enjoyed your last video about human issues and women's issues. It was really good to hear your ideas and Gladstone's ideas and points, and I hope that you make more videos like that. See ya next time.